Hello there guys, it's Niran here, and today it is time for another episode of our FIFA 14 Aston Villa career mode. This will be episode number 44, and in today's episode we'll be playing Newcastle and Stoke, two games in the Barclays Premier League, at home against Newcastle, and I do believe away against Stoke. Now, I know with the new game Grid Autosport coming out, my channel's been very much Grid Autosport recently. I will try and still be doing these career mode videos in the middle, and there'll also be FIFA 15 players to watch out for too. And a new FIFA series as well in about 3 weeks from now, possibly? Yeah, 3 weeks from now. So stick around for that if you're into FIFA. But still, this episode we're playing Newcastle, and to be honest, although beating a lot of good teams this season, in the past we struggled against Newcastle. I remember one time where we ended up drawing 1-1 thanks to a Christian Benteke excellent goal, to be honest. It was a great curling effort from Benteke. Obviously, there was no skill from me required whatsoever. It was just the fact that Benteke is amazing. Also, just before we get into that though, here is my shortlist, the second half of my shortlist, the continuation. Last episode I showed you a lot of it. This is the goalkeepers, left backs and left mids. As you can see, Bonilla there, Castiles, Alexandra Moreno, who we looked at as well in terms of fullbacks recently, Castillejo, Afellay, Mokhtar, Fisher, Dries Mertens, Vladimir Weiss, Griezmann and Ibai Gomez in terms of left wingers. All of those guys probably quite expensive, but I'd love to have all of them, to be honest. Then we've got Papadopoulos, a young even, looking good, quite good right back even. We've got Decilio, Callas, Arias, Pau Cancelo as well in terms of right backs, and Montoya as well. Again, we were looking at right backs as well last episode, and here we have the wingers too. Marko Arnautovic, well, no, not last episode, was it the episode before? A few episodes back, but then some wingers as well, like Salah, Hadrovic, Özbiliz, who of course scored against us for Spartak Moscow recently. And then moving on to the strikers, most of which are young strikers, because I think that's pretty much all we need. Diego Carvalho there, who saw for Bayern Munich, looks very tasty indeed. There's Eduardo Vargas, who's away, of course, playing for Chile in the World Cup, and there Alfred Finn Bogerson and Rodrigo towards the end, as well as Mattia Destro. So if we do decide to get another striker, which is not looking likely at the moment, but possibly in the next transfer window, in terms of the summer, those are some pretty decent options, especially Finn Bogerson and Rodrigo. But now it's time to get into the first game of the episode here against Newcastle at home. Newcastle are always such a hard team to play on this game. I don't know what it is about them. I really don't know what it is about them whatsoever, but here is the team I will be playing. And it's in the rain, unfortunately. We all know what happens to the AI in the rain. Zila, Klein, Papadopoulos, Romagnoli coming in for his first Barclays Premier League game. Westwood coming into at centre mid as well. Again, with Roda and Grenier, and then Backley and Juricic with Benteke up front. As per usual, that strong front three there of Backley, Juricic and Benteke leading the line. But here the guys come out of the tunnel, and this promised to be quite a hard game. Alessio Romagnoli coming in for his first Barclays Premier League game. Due to, was it Ron Vlaar or was it Kyriakos Papadopoulos being tired? One of the two, I can't. Whoever isn't playing, and also Nathan Baker was, sorry, a little bit tired. We came out of the traps pretty well. In the 22nd minute, it was pretty cagey first 20 minutes, but to be honest, but they're the first chance for Ashley Westwood. And then here, big mistake there from Rob Elliott, giving the ball to Backley, but unfortunately can't get it out of his feet quick enough, and the shot is blocked there. I think by Younger and Biwa, I'm not entirely sure. An easy save from Younger and Biwa's header there a little bit later on from Robert Zila. And we went forward then again, and Teke controlling it in a really crowded space, and a great double save, and then, well, in effect, triple save, really, from Rob Elliott, really making up for that mistake earlier. But then, Newcastle going forward really well. Moussa Sissoko getting through, using his strength, and what a save that is from Ron Robert Zila. It's cleared away in the end, but our defence was just all over the place, and a few minutes later, into the second half, and Ryan Taylor made it 1-0. In all honesty, I don't particularly know what Ron Robert Zila was doing. He sort of came out, flapped at it, and let it go over his head. Lowton was way out of position, as you can see, so there was no one picking him up. Sebastian Roda was actually the closest man to him, which is wrong, because he's a midfielder. But Ryan Taylor there for the easy free header, and unfortunately that was 1-0 to Newcastle. But as you can see, Christian Benteke hitting the post from an original shot from Juricic, but it fell for Benteke somehow. He hit the post, and we were punished in the 69th minute as Ryan Taylor scored possibly the first brace in his entire career. In the 70th minute, again, Zila probably could have done better, just basically lied down and the ball rolled over him. It was a good finish, good free kick. Again, no one marking him. Really, my defence in terms of the AI, there was nothing I could really do in terms of positioning, because I'm not really, I'm not in control of them. But as you can see, straight from the kickoff, and we had a bit of possession. Lacazette came on, someone else came on. Oh yeah, Agbonlahor and Lacazette came on. I think it was Backley and Juricic. And Zogbia gets the ball there, forces a brilliant save from the goalkeeper, and Agbonlahor is there to sweep up the pieces. And just like 3 minutes later, we had a chance in this game again to get, well, possibly possibly a chance back in the game. You never know. With 17 minutes odd to go, there's still very much a chance. And with our antics so far this season in terms of late goals, anything is possible. That made it 2-1 though. Great goal from Gabriel Agbonlahor. Agbonlahor then set up Benteke. He would find Lacazette in the centre and surely a goal. But no. That was the chance. But unfortunately it was spurned by Alexander Lacazette. But he almost made up for it in spectacular fashion with that long-range strike, hitting the post, and into injury time, Lacazette cutting inside with the Ronaldo chop, puts the ball into the centre for Benteke, but he's unable to get his head on it, and that would be the final action of the game. Only our second loss of the season in the Barclays Premier League, only our third loss in all competitions after that loss, of course, against Barcelona as well. But here are the ratings, and Gabriel Agbonlahor, having been only a substitute and on the losing team, still managed to get man of the match. Also good rating there for Papadopoulos as well, 7.4, and a 7.2 for Benteke, decent 6.9 as well for Nzogbia, but everyone else pretty average. As you can see here, I've got a little email just reminding me that there's 4 players who are above the age of 23, is it you have to be, or 21, who are out of contract, Ron Vlaar and Fabian Delph being 2 of them, and I think Gabriel Agbonlahor and Ender Stevens were the other 2, I think, out of that. So I basically went straight ahead, offered Ron Vlaar and Fabian Delph new contracts. Not entirely sure what I want to do with Gabriel Agbonlahor yet, whether I want to sell him in this transfer window, or whether I just want to release him, or whether I want to keep him. So I sort of left that one for now, but I offered new contracts for Fabian Delph and Ron Vlaar. But now we're going to get into the next game of this episode, and that is against Stoke. We're looking to bounce back after that disappointing loss against Newcastle. That 2-1, pretty decent, well, pretty bad defensive performance. To be honest, Romagnoli was actually really good. I just want to stress this. Alessio Romagnoli actually had a really good game. Just a shame that, like, when the AI were controlling him, there was just no defence whatsoever when it came to the crosses. Going back to a pretty much standard lineup, as you can see there. Lacazette, though, starting the game, coming in for Backley alongside Juricic in terms of the wingers. Zila in goal, standard defence in terms of Klein, Vlaar, Papadopoulos and Lowton, and also a standard midfield with Delph, Grenier and Roeder as well. So nothing to be missed there, of course, with Benteke up front. We were looking to bounce back, and it didn't really start very well because Stoke went forward there, and Zila, I was really worried he might spill that, actually, under the pressure of the Stoke striker. Thankfully managed to hold on to it, and then we went forward in the 12th minute there with the chance from Christian Benteke, but a good save from Jack Butland in the Stoke goal, and then Juricic there, really, to be honest, actually should have scored. He hit the post there, he cuts inside with the Ronaldo chop, but really should have scored that one. A looping header there from Christian Benteke, almost catching out Jack Butland as well, and from the resulting corner, it was headed out only as far as Lowton. He got past the defender there with a nice little touch, and then shot, but it was pretty much straight at Lowton. Lowton took the shot, it was basically straight at Butland. But Benteke there, forcing another good save from Butland. I keep wanting to call him Lowton. Why do I keep wanting to call him Lowton? Zila there having to come out there and nod the ball away and almost caught out there by, I think it was Steven Nzonzi there with the strike. But literally, in added time in the first half, Juricic setting away Lowton, a nice little ball into the centre, and what a finish that is from Roeder. Slightly behind him, but he basically dinks it over the head of Jack Butland. See, I got it right that time. Didn't call him Lowton, but still, nice little goal there. Juricic with the ball over the top, and a nice, precise cross there from Lowton. You could call it a bit of a sweaty, but it was a nicely executed sweaty, in all honesty. That made it 1-0, and then Stoke just pressed the capitulate button there. I don't know who that was who lost that in midfield. We basically just ran into, I think it was Grenier, and Christian Benteke there with a pretty disgusting goal. Absolutely awesome save from Jack Butland in the first place. He might be someone I actually look to buy in the future, because he's very good at the moment on this game. Very good performance. I don't know why we're watching so many replays. I think I gormed out at that stage. That made it 2-0 in the 57th minute, thanks to that goal from Christian Benteke. That second goal. So a decent cushion for us now. Though the header, I think, was that, it might have been Lowton or Roeder, I'm not entirely sure there, with a header from pretty decent long range, actually. Also there a chance for Juricic, and then another save from Jack Butland. He was absolutely on fire, was the Stoke goalkeeper in this game. But look at this for a diagonal ball from Eric Peters, and look at this for a finish. Cameron Jerome and Eric Peters, that's Robin Van Persie, Dally Blind style, that is. I know there wasn't a flying, flopping header involved, but really nice diagonal ball there on the left foot of Eric Peters. Really pinged that over to Cameron Jerome, even. I don't know why I called him Gamaron then. Gammon nor Gamaron is a name, but still Cameron Jerome there with the really, really nice finish. But that was it, of course. 2-1 there, you saw Nathan Ake, he came on as a late substitute in the end. But a really nice game, to be honest, 2-1 in the end. Really nice finish there from Cameron Jerome. As you can see, good rating there for Lowton, 7.9, as well as Roeder, who came up with an 8.5. Benteke there with an 8.3, and Grenier with a 7.5 as well, doing well. And Delph and Juricic there with 7.2s and 7.1s, respectively. But now, Fabian Delph, I just don't understand. He seems to have forgotten that he refused a contract in the first place. He's refused a contract again. I don't understand why, but just ignoring that. I'll come back to it in a minute. we went for a few players here. We're just like shortlisting, just getting some scout reports for a few players here. The first one was Josip Dermich, then we had Ricardo Rodriguez. There was Oliver Sorg from SC Freiburg, that's Max Kruse of Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now Jorginho, the Brazilian centre mid there from Hellas Verona. Ciro Immobile from Torino, although he may be quite expensive for the 24-year-old striker from Italy. Bruno Aquele Manga, who was on a career mode team builder of mine recently there for Monaco. William Carvalho of Sporting Lisbon, and Kevin Volland there, the German striker from Hoffenheim. All of these guys in FIFA 15 top players to watch out for, or similar videos, have done really well, or players who look very good. Bruno Aquele Manga there worth 8 million. Carvalho worth 4.2 there. I think Kruse was worth like 10.5 or something. Ciro Immobile was worth quite a lot, so I don't think that'll be happening this transfer window. Maybe in the summer though. William Carvalho, if I decide to get another midfielder, will certainly be on the list. Ricardo Rodriguez, they're worth 8 million, 14.5 there for Jorginho, 12.5 for Kevin Volland, I think 3.8 there for Oliver Sorg, and Ron Vlaar there just quickly at the end accepting that contract offer, not being a complete nutter nonce like Fabian Delph was. But yeah, there's some targets you could say for a January transfer window. A few of them affordable, not all of them, and a few of them I might be looking at in the summer transfer window instead. But here, just to end the table, just to end with the table, as I should say, and for the first time in ages, a team is actually level on points with us. It's Chelsea. They played a game more, but even if we win that game in hand, we're only 3 points ahead of them now after that loss to Newcastle. Both of us on 44 points. Man City there on 38, Spurs on 36, and Liverpool there on 35, rounding out the European places in front of Manchester United, West Ham, Swansea, Fulham, and Arsenal in 10th. Down at the bottom, Stoke and Wigan just outside the relegation zone there by just a couple of points, with Hull, Reading, and Leicester still occupying those relegation spots. But nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like and subscribe if you did, and comment about enjoying it if you enjoyed it that much. The question for this episode I would like you to answer in the comment section is, which one of those targets would you like me to buy? Preferably the affordable ones, or if you have any other suggestions as well, leave them in the comment section below. But nevertheless, I hope you have a brilliant day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.